how did you come to Thomas More?
So it's funny. So there was a guy way back when called Steve Hirsch, who was the tennis coach, but he was also in the admissions department. So I'm sure you guys still do it. They used to do those admission fairs where they go around, because I lived in Columbus, and Thomas More is one of the schools that came to our high school. And he was actually chatting to another guy who played tennis with in high school, who was the state champion. I was good, but I wasn't that good. I still swear to this day, the only reason I came to Thomas More was he was inviting Pete to come down, and Pete goes, "Why don't drive?" He's like, "Hey, Andy plays tennis. Andy's got a car," so I got invited down. So he got me, and
Yeah.
I got some. So I got the athletic scholarship, and I got um, the James Graham Brown scholarship as well. So yeah, that's what I did it, because it was less expensive to go to Thomas More than it was to go stay at home, go to Ohio State. So, and I wanted to play tennis. So, but Thomas More had a thing where you could go in 3 years, you got a degree in physics, and then you automatically got accepted into a master's program at a list of schools like Purdue, Notre Dame, and some really good schools. It was a chance. I thought, well, I'd come here for 3 years, play tennis, get my degree, and then go on and do what I was going to do. It ended up not doing that. Right, I switched majors to computer science, and I enjoyed that and enjoyed my time too much to go. And glad I did. I mean, classes were small. I think my freshman physics class had about 14 people in it. All right. It was small, which was very important, because the first day, like, you think the first day of school, it's going to be meet everybody and say where you're from, right? And we had like a sister that taught it, and she'd been there forever. And she came in and was like, "Right, let's get to work. We'll meet each other later." And the first thing she did, she threw a squiggly line on the board. And I raised my hand and go, "What's that?" And she looked at me. She goes, "We don't have any time for any jokers in this class." She goes, "You don't know, you tell me you don't know what an integral is." And I go, "No." And she said, "Have you taken calculus yet?" I said, "I've got calculus next." First thing I had to do was go home and read like 3 chapters ahead in my math book, just so I could catch up in physics. And I said, this college thing's going to be hard. But if I would have ended up at, a big university, one, chance of success wouldn't have been as good, because in a smaller class, at least you can get more attention. I survived long enough as a physics major to realize that I liked computer science better, and being able to make that switch, right? Not flunking out, because you didn't, being able to catch up and get that type of help was important. When I could talk about Thomas More, I talk more about the structure is still the same, but being liberal arts, we had to take 6 hours of arts, 6 hours of theology, 6 hours of business, 6 hours of, humanities or what. So it kind of, some of those classes that you wouldn't have necessarily taken attention to, I think all of those just round you, make you a more well-rounded person. I mean, there was one called Justice in the Law. I remember he was a former student of Thomas More that taught it. And he taught you really how to debate, right? How to research, how to think, and mock trials and things like that. So stuff like that I was very much science focused, but you took time out of your day and you did something like that. It makes the other side of your brain work. We had to take 6 hours of arts. And I took ballet, tap, and ethnic dance 1 and 2. And we still to this day joke around that, I was a couple classes away from me. I have an associate's degree in ballet. But it was stuff like that it mixed around. And I think that whole kind of potpourri of learning and experiences in playing sports, and knowing the people that you went to school with,